Okay. Hi. So I want to get into this big topic of mindset and brain science. And I want to start with just a very short story, a very personal story. And this story sort of is in the category more so of manifestation and visualization, but it just heightens the importance of the power of your brain and the power that is up here in you right now. And this is the story. Most of you guys know this. If you didn't, I had a really hard time getting pregnant. It just was not in the cards for us for a lot of different reasons. It was a 4-year journey of total crap. And it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't in the cards for us, was not going to happen. We tried everything you can imagine, things that you probably didn't even know existed. We tried it all. And I was like, forget it. Can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Let's go. Let's adopt a baby. So we went to a meeting with a private adoption attorney. I left that meeting, full stop. No, like I need to get off the roller coaster. This is still a roller coaster. I'm emotionally unprepared. It's too overwhelming. I cannot. I need a healing. I need a deep healing. Full stop. We're done. So I met this woman. Her name is Tori Quisling. She's out in Long Island. She's kind of like the Long Island medium, but she's a medium, and she was a clairvoyant and energy coach. And she taught me how to manifest and meditate. I never really meditated before. She was my meditation coach. She taught me all these amazing things. I worked with her once or twice a week for 6 months, and she was my healing. And we went on a wild journey together. I am a very jaded New Yorker, and I did not think this was real. Like, I thought this was such bullshit, bull crap. We have all my meetings recorded, and I go back and listen to the early ones, and I'm just like, this is like, you could just tell in my voice, I didn't believe it. And so, because she would ask me these questions like, what color is the rose that you see? And I'd be like, what? Red? And I was like, I don't know, and my answer would always be like, I don't know. She'd be like, what do you see when you open the doors and there's a meadow and you see a child and that child runs to you, and what's their, I'm like, what? And she's like, there's no wrong answer. You literally use your imagination. You dream up something, you imagine something. That's it. You use your imagination. I was like, okay, let's try it. So, what is the name of the boy that runs up to him? Like, Danny. Oh, don't, what I mean? It just like it popped in, like, and that's how you do it. You just started imagining things. So she took me on a wild journey. One of the exercises we did all the time was I went into this room. I had to describe the whole room. I sat down in a chair, described the chair, put on a hat, described the hat. Movie screen came on, blank screen. What do you see? And I saw this image over and over and over again. And this is what it was. Me, Tommy, baby in the backseat of a car. We're driving to my brother's house in New Jersey. We get to his house. We park the car. We are getting out of the car. I'm picking up bags. Tommy's getting out of the car. We're slamming doors. Someone's grabbing the baby. We get stuff out of the trunk. We slam the trunk. There was also always a trunk slam. That was like something I always saw in this vision, was like a slamming of the trunk. Finally, we got all the stuff. We got the baby. We have a baby. And we're going into my brother's house. That's just like this vision that I saw and I imagined during our sessions. Then one day in 2019, that happened. That exact scene happened. And I froze. I got tingles. We were outside of my brother's house in New Jersey. I had the car seat. We had bags. I looked to the car and Tommy slammed the trunk closed. And I was like, I dreamt this. I imagined this scene. I created this scene. I made this happen. And I forgot about it, because it was like months later than I was doing this work. And then this vision that I saw actually was happening in my life. And I was like, oh my God. And that is just the power of your brain. I tapped into something really important and really powerful, and that is your imagination and your brain. So that is sort of how I wanted to start all of this, by acknowledging that this works. Once you tap into your brain and your mindset and your thinking, your world can shift. And again, that was more of like the manifestation visualization type of stuff. And we're going to talk more about mindset and the practice of mindset today. But the point is, there is power in your brain right now to make any result you want in your life happen. So let's talk about mindset. Humans are the only animals on the planet that have this thing called metacognition. We're the only animals that can think about our thoughts. We can have a thought, and then we can have a thought about the thought. We can think about our thoughts, and we can think a thought on purpose. We can change our thoughts. And a lot of people think they cannot change their thoughts, that their thoughts are fact, their thoughts are real, they're unchangeable. I'm overweight, I'm unlovable, I suck, I'm unsuccessful, blah, 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 blah. That's not real. That's not a circumstance. That's not fact. That is a thought. And the good news is you can change your thoughts. We're the only animals that have this power to change a thought. So it's a practice, just like any physical activity, lifting weights, running on the treadmill, whatever. This is a practice to exercise your brain and to literally carve out new neurological pathways in your brain. You get stuck in the rut. Your brain will always be in like default mode, like the unintentional thought. You're not doing this on purpose. It's the unintentional thought. Your brain is on autopilot. Your brain is on default. It's the unconscious mind. It's that rut that you are literally stuck in. It's a stuck neurological pathway. It's a rut. All like, I'm overweight. I can never lose weight. No one will ever love me. I suck at my job. I'll never make a sale, blah, blah, blah. Your brain will always be on default, running on that default mode. That's the unintentional, unconscious model. Good news is there is an intentional model, and that's the model that we work within. We recognize the unintentional one, we work through it, and then we work through an intentional model, the conscious model. You're thinking a thought on purpose. You are creating a new thought. You are shifting your mindset, and you're creating a new way to think, which is a new way to feel, which is a new way to act, which is a new way to create results. So it is a practice, and we're going to go through this model together. But also, like, this is why affirmations, positive affirmations, are bullshit and they don't work. Like, you can't just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you are a wonderful goddess who can have anything you want. Your brain is like, no, you're not. Like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to like shift from 0 to 60. It's a practice. You literally have to carve out the new neurological pathways to get there. So the model is this, and I'm going to share my screen and show you the model. And I don't know if I shared it in the group yet, but I will. Here we go. You guys can see this, right? Okay. So this is the model, and I'll send this to you again. But I would start doing this every day. Do this worksheet every day. The first thing, date it, and then what you're grateful for. I think that's just a beautiful practice, something to do in the morning. What are you grateful for? Fresh water, ice cubes, hair conditioning treatments. I don't know, anything, literally anything, 3 little things, because once you open the door of gratitude, more things will start, coming into your life that you want, that you will be grateful for. Like, don't be the negative Nancy. Negative Nancy's door is closed. It'll never be open because she's stuck. She's stuck in that rut of everything sucks in her life. We know these people. And then start the day by controlling your thoughts, brain dump. And that's just like blah, blah, blah. Stream of conscious, just dump it all. Like, whatever is going on in your brain, just dump it out. I like to type it up. A lot of people like to write, but get it out. Get it out of your brain. You have to get it out of your brain. You can't just work through this stuff in your brain. Get it out somewhere, on your computer, on a notebook, anywhere. Brain dump. And then this is the model. It's called the Think, Feel, Act model. So we'll go through a couple examples actually, but unintentional model, how you want to feel, that's kind of the bridge, and then intentional model. So the unintentional model, the C stands for circumstance. That's fact. That is true in a court of law, will not ever be proven otherwise. It's 70 degrees out. I weigh 200 pounds. I'm 44 years old, whatever, like fact, circumstance, fact. The T is thought. And the thought is how your brain is interpreting the circumstance, what you're making that circumstance mean about you. I'm 44 years old. What am I making that mean about me? What is my thought about that? F is feeling. All of your thoughts, whether you are aware of them or not, every single thought you have creates a vibration in your body, and that vibration is a feeling. So what do you feel? I'm 44 years old. My thought is, oh my God, I'm so old. Like, how did I get this old? Feeling depressed, anxious, sad. That's a feeling, like not a great feeling, like, ugh. Action, A is the action line, and that's what action do you take as a result of the F line. So again, whether you are aware of it or not, every action that you do in your life, every decision that you make in your life, your relationships, your business, comes from a feeling, comes from a vibration in your body. So what do? Do you retreat? Do you hide? Do you binge eat? Do you scroll social media? Do you compare and despair? What is the action that you are taking from that feeling? And then the R is the result line. So R means result, and the result is always going to reinforce the T line. So after you've, had your thought, your feeling, your action, the result, it's going to reinforce T, I'm an old lady hot mess. It's just going to reinforce the T line. If that result is not what you want in your life, you don't change what you do. You don't change your action. You can't just change your feeling. You can't just wake up and be like, be happy. It's not that easy. You have to change your thought. And the good thing is that you can change your thought. So how do you want to feel? Again, a lot of times, like, this is just like neutral. Okay, instead of happy, ecstatic, confident, like, it's hard to go from 0 to 60. It's hard to go from depressed to happy. It's just not that easy. So sometimes you just want to feel okay. You want to feel neutral. So you can put that in that little bridge place there. Like, how do you want to feel about this circumstance that you cannot change? And then you go into an intentional model. Circumstance is the same. I'm 44 years old. Thought, I'm fucking 44 and fabulous. I get better with age. I've learned so much. I have so much to offer. Something like that. Feeling okay, neutral, confident, happy, inspired. Action, go out in the world, be fabulous. Results, you feel fabulous and your life continues to be fabulous. That was a very basic, very simple example. But that's kind of how the model works. A couple of other examples that we can kind of go through are things like circumstance. I made $0 in sales in February. Thought, I suck at my job. I'll never be successful. I'm the worst. Feeling depressed, anxious, frustrated, sad. Why do you want to feel that way? Why would you want to feel that way? Why are you making that circumstance, that fact, make you feel a certain way? Your action might be to hide, to retreat, to not do anything, just avoid. Avoid is an action a lot of us take when we're feeling a certain way. And the result reinforces the thought line that you suck. I suck at this. I'm never going to be successful. That's a terrible cycle to be in. And that's the cycle your brain will be on in default, running on default, that unintentional model. You want to change that. You want to have different results. So intentionally think a new thought. circumstance, I made 0 sales in February. Thought, it's okay. I'm learning so much about my failures. I'm open to believing I can do this. I'm the type of person who can grow. This thought is just a thought in my head. All of those thoughts are things that you can think on purpose that are going to serve you better than I suck. Don't think that thought. Intentionally think one that is way more neutral, way more positive. I am open to thinking I can be better. I'm becoming a good salesperson, whatever it is. Feeling okay, confident, inspired. Action. Read a business development book, attend a seminar, ask for help, get a mentor, take action, and you will take action based on that feeling, based on that thought. And then your result is going to be something better. Your result is going to be growth. Does that make sense? That, like, in a nutshell, like how the model works. I'm going to stop share for a second. Do you guys have any questions about this model? Have you done this before? Worked with this? I know, Marianne, you probably have. Yes, it makes sense. Okay, good. Thanks, Eileen. Marianne, what is your experience with this type of work? Oh, you're still muted. Can you unmute?
Unmute. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Can you hear
You're
me?
unmuted.
Awesome. What is my, yeah, I think I got your question. Yes, I have done things like this before. I think in my younger days, and even when I used to like practice this, there's a part of me that was like, it's just kind of BS. It's kind of positive thinking. And I kind of like what you said about, like, even if you do all that, your brain is like, no, that's not true. But there is, I really do. And I'm doing a lot more meditation now too. That idea of like building that new track, that makes the world of difference. I really think it's everything in our world today. Like in terms of personal growth, I think I believe it. I believe it.
I believe.
Yes.
I know.
Hear me.
I know. And it's hard. And a lot of people don't do it, and most people don't. Most people do not do this type of work. And we're probably very similar. Same thing. I was like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, this is too like woo woo. And I am a woo woo type of person, like I'm into all this stuff. But I was like, there's no way. You know what I mean? But once you start to practice it and see evidence of it in your life, you start to believe it. You know what I mean? But you have to go for it. You have to really embrace it 100%. Like not even 99%, 100% embrace this type of work and embrace that you're just going to try it, and use your imagination and do the work, and things will start to shift. And it's pretty awesome. You know what I mean? And it's manifestation and visualization is different, but similar. You know what I mean? They're same, but different. Like it's the same, like harnessing the power of your brain, but mindset, it's like a daily practice as well. Right. So that's why we have that worksheet. And I really encourage you to do it every day for like a year. It takes 10 minutes. It's the first thing I do in the morning. 3 things I'm grateful for, brain dump, like I'll wake up and I just, things start going through your mind. It's like, get them out, just get them out of your brain and put them down on paper, put them down somewhere. And if there's a thought that keeps coming up in your brain dump, that's just making you feel like crap, making you angry, making you frustrated, just that's the thing that you want to put into the model. Like, what is that thought? What is that circumstance? Put that through the model, the facts, the unintentional, like that default thinking about it, Go through that. The CTFAR, go through that, examine it. Like this is never like run away from your feelings. It's not positive thinking. You know what I mean? Like positive psychology is different than positive thinking. Like positive thinking is bullshit. It's like that toxic positivity type of person. It's like, oh, stop. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like life is shades of gray. It can't just be black and white. It can't be happy and sad, depressed and ecstatic. There's so much gray in there, and I totally lost my train of thought. But it's something that we do every day to exercise the power of our brain to change the way we think. And a lot of people don't think you can, and you can change the way you think. And it still blows my mind. It still blows my mind that this is a possibility, that we can change the way we think. And if you're getting results in your life that you don't like how things are going, it's not what you're doing. It's not move to a different city. It's not get a different job. It's not cut your hair. It's not even lose 50 pounds. It's what you're thinking about the situation, what you were thinking about yourself. Like wherever you go, there you are, right? It's not the external circumstances. It's always what's going on in your brain. And once you can shift your thinking, everything shifts. Everything can shift. And it's really powerful. Yeah. So positive psychology, positive thinking are two different things. It's not that easy to just like be happy, think positively. It's a process. It's carving new neurological pathways through your brain, so that you create new results in your life. And again, it's not being like, thinking, I just want to be happy. It's like neutral. I want to feel neutral. I just want to feel okay. I think that was an important thing for me too. It's like, I can't make that jump. I can't go from frustrated to happy. That's not going to happen, but I can go from frustrated to neutral. I can stop making those things, those thoughts, those circumstances, thinking bad thoughts, like thinking frustrated, feeling frustrated. I cannot do that. I can choose another thought. I can choose another feeling. That was important to me. I can choose neutrality over frustrated. Whoa. Oh my God. I could talk about this for like so many hours. Questions, other comments. Priscilla, does this make sense? Have you like heard this before, done work like this before?
I have been introduced to it, like I've heard different names, but I do agree with this model more than like the whole positive thinking, just because like you were saying, it's just super unrealistic. When something terrible happens to you, then you want to like release your emotions, and people tend to bottle those things up. But it's nice to have that moment of like, okay, get your feelings out, brain dump, and then kind of use gratitude as something to reel you back into like being more positive and kind of getting back to the big picture.
Yeah. And you made a good point that something just popped into my head too. Like when something terrible happens in your life, you can't change that. Like fucking sucks. Like terrible things happen and it sucks and it's terrible, but you can't change it. So that's like the circumstance. What you can control are your thoughts about it, your feelings, your actions, and your results. And it's like the serenity prayer, and it's like big in AA, right? Like, God grant, and I'm not a Christian, like religious person, but God grant me what is it? Knowledge or the power to change.
God grant me the serenity.
Yes. How does it go?
To accept the things I can't change, or something like that. Yeah,
and the wisdom to know the difference.
The difference.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
God grant me the well, whatever. You just said it.
Serenity.
But the serenity prayer. So it's that. It's like you can't, like for people who are dealing with, substance abuse, like it's enough to get through this. It's enough to help themselves through addiction. They can't stress about their parents abandoning them. They can't like worry about, you know, having a crappy childhood. And it's like, that's done. That is fact. It is in the past. It is done. It is a circumstance. Don't worry about that. You can't. There is no point. There is no service to you in getting upset about the fact that you had abusive parents or something terrible happened to you or you're whatever, you know, I don't want to get dark, but like that is a fact. You can't change it, but you can change the way you think. And again, it's not positive thinking. It's not like, let's try to just make rosy situation out of something like total crap, but you can change and control your mindset and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions, your results and your life. And I think that was a really powerful message that I heard once too, in a book that I'm currently reading called The Obstacle is the Way. Was like very, very powerful for me to like hear that, you know. And it's like a lot of this, I feel like sometimes people have an aversion to it too, because it's like, well, crappy things happen to you, and how am I supposed to make that a positive thing? I'm like, that's not it. That's not what we're doing. That's not what mindset work is. That's not what shifting your mindset is. That's impossible. You can't make a crappy situation a happy situation. It just is a situation. But what you can do is control your thoughts, manage your thoughts. That's also a really good book. The Obstacle is the Way. If you're looking for a really great like personal development book that taps into mindset a little bit deeper, I love it. Obstacle is the Way. Great book. Eileen, Christina, I know you guys, they're on the team. So Eileen and Christina are on the team. So we talk about this stuff a lot. It comes up a lot in our like working together as body partners. So I know it's not like brand new to you, but what do you guys think? Do you have any thoughts or questions? I can stop recording too, because that's kind of like the end of it. I'll stop recording.
Nice to revisit it because I
yeah.
forgot all about it.
Stop recording. There we go.